Chapter 1, Section 1, Linear Equations. We're going to determine solutions, we're going to graph using the intercept method, and we're going to graph special cases.
To graph a line, you plot one point. That one point is not going to just do it because you don't know exactly what your line is going to look like. You have to plot a second point, and then you can connect the 2 points and you have a definite line. So you need 2 points minimum to at least draw a line. I always try to get the third point just to make sure I'm correct. One of the questions you're going to be given is point 1, 2, a solution to the equation 2x plus 4y equals 10. Let's write down what's given. You're given a point. The point is 1, 2. So 1 is the value of x and 2 is the value of y. Now, in order to be a solution to the equation, if we substitute in the 1 for the x and the 2 for the y in the equation, we should come out with a true statement. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to substitute 1 for the x and 2 for the y. We're going to get here 2 plus 8, which is 10. True statement. Therefore, the point 1, 2 is a solution and satisfies the equation. It also means that when I go to graph the line, the point 1, 2 will be on the graph for that line.
The question here is point 5, 0, a solution to the same equation 2x plus 4y equals 10. Well, let's write down what's given. We have a point, xy 5, 0, x is 5, y is 0. Let's go ahead and substitute them into the equation. 5 for the x, 0 for the y. You're going to get the answer of 10 equals 10, a true statement. Therefore, the point 5, 0 is a solution to the equation and will be on the graph line. Now, question is point 3, 4, a solution to the same equation. So let's try this one. Write down what's given. We have the point 3, 4, x is 3, y is 4. We're going to substitute them into the equation, and we're going to end up getting the statement 22 equals 10. There's no way that that is a true statement. So therefore, we can say that this point 3, 4 is not a solution to the equation and will not be on the graph line. Let's take a look at that.
Now we see the point 3, 4 when we've plotted. It's not on the graph line, not a solution. We had 2 solutions, and we had one point that was not a solution. Another type of question you're going to be asked is graph the linear equation by finding the x and y intercepts. Now notice you're not given a point. You have to know what x and y intercept means to get those 2 points to graph this equation. So let's take a look what x and y intercept actually stands for.
This line intersects the y-axis at 0, 8. The y value is 8. The x value is 0. If x had a value, say, of 1, it would be over here, and it would not be on the y-axis. If x was a value of -1, it would be here, and it would not be sitting on the y-axis. That's why x has to be 0. Coming here, looking at this line, it crosses the x-axis. It's the x-intercept. X is number 7, because from 0 we went along x is 7. The y has to be 0, or it would not be sitting on this x-axis.
Find the x-intercept for this equation. Now this equation, when you graph it, is a line, and that line is going to cross the x-axis. The point where it crosses the x-axis is called the x-intercept. So we're really looking for a point, xy values. Now the x is the question mark because that's what you're looking for. So you're going to set y to be 0. Now you're going to take this and substitute it into the original equation. The y here is 0. And you're going to come up with the answer of x equals 4. Now you know you're on the right track to solving this because you have an answer in terms of an x variable. Here you're looking for the x-intercept, so they match. If you had a y here, then you would be incorrect in your equation. You have to be solving for the x. You come down now and you have to write the point. The point then, value of x is 4 and the y is 0, and that's your x-intercept. Now don't get confused, because some of you many times will work this whole problem and you'll put the 4 in the wrong place. You'll put it where the y is. It's the x, and make sure you put it in the correct position here. Now we're going to find the y-intercept. We need that point where it crosses the y-axis. So therefore we need the xy values, and we know that the y is what we're looking for, so that's going to be your question mark. Therefore you set the x to be 0. Go and substitute these values in for the equation. The x now is the 0, and you're going to come up with y equals -6. Again, you have a y answer, and you looked for the y-intercept. So since it's a y value, the first x is 0, and the second for the y is -6. Make sure you put them in the proper place. Since we have 2 points, we can connect them, and you've now drawn the graph for 3x minus 2y equals 12. And again, notice that we have the x-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis, the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. We're continuing now with linear equations, special cases. We have horizontal and vertical lines. Now some of you get confused between which is a horizontal line and which is the vertical line. One way of remembering which is a horizontal line is looking at the beginning of the word and thinking about the horizon. The other way is to take the line and cross it over the H. Now let's see what this looks like on a graph. We draw a line and y equals 2. Notice the line never crosses the x-axis. Y equals 2 because if we start here at 0 and we go 2 to the y, that's fine. But what happens if we start here at x is 5? We're still up 2 to the y. What happens if we start at x is -8? We're still up 2 to the y. Everywhere y equals 2, and there are too many x values, -infinity all the way out to +infinity, and you don't show any x's, because everywhere you look, y is 2. In the example, y equals 3, we're going to plot this. If you start at 0 and you go to y equals 3, right here, and you plot that point, and everywhere now, y will equal 3. Pick 1 or 2 points and you're going to see every one y will equal 3, only the x's will change. The example, x equals 6. Let's plot this, and notice if we stand at 0 and we go to x equals 6 right here, and everywhere we want x to equal 6. And notice if we pick points there, x would equal 6 and the y values would change. When graphing, if you do not remember which line is vertical or horizontal, use your own table of values. An example, graph y equals -6. Make up your table of xy values, choose 3 points. Make sure that all your y values here are the same -6. Choose any 3 values of x you want. They don't have to be these. You could have said 0, you could have said 1, -1, or anyone would be fine. Go ahead and graph these 3 points now, connect your line, and you have y equals -6. This is the end of the video.